So I'm highly motivated by money, but that is not the only reason that we're here.
It's not God's intention for us to live in poverty anyway. I mean, we gave away 2 roofs last year. Like,
None of that is possible without money.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Roofer2Roofer. As always, we do have our panel of established contractors ready to go to answer any of your questions, big or small. So if you've had something on your mind that you wanted to ask, go ahead and pop into the Q&A. Otherwise, I'll get started with a couple questions here. But yeah, feel free to pop them in whenever they come to you. First question. How can roofers collaborate with other tradespeople to cross-promote services?
I love this one. We kind of along the same lines, but we literally today from 11 a.m. until I think we ran out at about 1:30. We did an event. It was like a Thanksgiving Day event where we handed out warm meals to people within our community. And we actually partnered up with another local roofing contractor, which I think was pretty unique. We had 550 warm Thanksgiving type themed meals that we put together. We had about 5 of our team members. They had about 5 of their team members, and we had a conveyor line where we were packaging stuff up and handing it out. So um, that's one of the things that we literally just did today, which was getting prepared for the holiday season, trying to find a way to give back. And we actually partnered with another roofing contractor.
I love that.
yeah, we're a part of a couple different networking groups, and I do kind of incentivize my folks to get out, join networking groups, join BNIs, be part of chamber meetings, things like that. And you know, anything that they develop or generate from that, I mean, they get a higher commission on anyway, as it's, a self-generated sort of form of business. But on top of that, I mean, anybody that's been in the space for a minute has, I mean, you should have some pretty good relationships established. I mean, you're going to need, at the very least, an AC guy, and typically like a plumber of some sort, just because you never know what kind of lines are underneath the decking of roofs that you do. Um, and the nice thing about establishing those relationships is, aside from, needing to pull them in on your jobs from time to time, they'll also pull you in on some of theirs. So definitely make those relationships, guys. And one of the easiest way to find those is just getting involved in your community, asking about recommendations for whatever trade that you're looking to partner up with, or joining a networking group.
Yeah, absolutely. I went to my first National Women in Roofing event last week. It was amazing. So yeah, if you guys have an NWIR chapter near you, I think that could be worth looking into.
What did you go to last week?
It was an NWIR event at Gulf Eagle National Women.
National Women in Roofing. Okay.
It was so fun. There were some men there too, some national men in roofing as well. But just a good time. Felt like I made some good connections. So I love that. All right. Feel free to pop your questions in as you think of them. Otherwise, we'll keep rolling right along here. Can you charge for roof inspections, or should you only offer them for free?
You're up, John.
Everybody, everybody's going to have a differing opinion on this one. I know darn well that if we were charging for that stuff, we wouldn't have too many. So you got to do with what your market dictates, and do what's best for your business that way.
Yeah, for me it depends on the type of inspection. Like sometimes we'll have real estate agents that call us and they want us to just do like an inspection, and obviously that is not going to be free because they have zero means to purchase at all. It's just simply a buyer who wants a licensed contractor to put their seal of approval on a system. So anytime that something like that comes our way, we charge for it. We try to stay out of third party stuff. Like for instance, we usually plead the fifth and just bow out of that. But when we're talking about customers that are potentially contracting with us for our services, we don't charge for inspections. I think you'd have a hard time competing in the marketplace if you were charging for inspections. Most of us, that's our call to action, is to get a free inspection. So I think you'd have an incredibly hard time uh, gaining business in the marketplace if you were to try and charge for regular inspections when it's a consultative approach and you're trying to actually sell that person some or all of your services.
Yeah, that makes sense. Are there any other like lead grabbers, kind of like outside of the box, that you guys have, come across that are just as successful as kind of the free inspection method?
Man. I mean,
As you can see, none of us are over original.
one thing that we do at trade shows and stuff is we will enter people in the drawings. And we'll give away like Yeti coolers or whatever the flavor is for that particular trade show. But no, I mean it all results in a complimentary inspection. We try to steer clear of the word free, but I don't know. I haven't really come up with anything super creative that I've been able to come up with. How about you, Carney?
Yeah, I mean, any type of call to action usually is going to have the word free in it or some type of dollar amount off. So we've toyed around with some different stuff and we've tried different promotions, and it's very hard for me to attach a large amount of business won or a large amount of business lost to a simple call to action. I haven't seen anything that just like stands out that is just so effective to offer $500 off or $1,000 off or 10% off or a free this or free that. Um, One thing that we do is we like to give all of our customers a free gift. So that's something that we promote quite a bit. And usually it's of monetary value, somewhere between 250 to 400 bucks. And we've gotten a lot of real positive feedback from that, but I think I'm smart enough to recognize that I don't think people are making a decision solely off of that. I think it's just a nice added bonus that allows them to talk about us in good light after the project's completed more than actually helping us to acquire that business.
What other promotions outside of like a free gift have you guys found success with?
Upgrades. I mean, something that would be complimentary to their roof. Um, discount on gutters. Like there's a number of different things that you could do. Are any of them like more compelling or exciting than the next? Not really. And end of the day, like I don't feel that it's even necessary to even attach like a dollar amount to something. I mean, if you do a good enough job for somebody, they're gonna refer you regardless of if they got a referral gift or not. They're gonna refer you because they know that you're gonna do a darn good job for them. So.
I've also seen promos be taken in negative light too, where like we've seen before, like people offering free gutters or something like that with a full replacement. And oftentimes what happens, at least what my team has found, is whenever we have like a promotion or something like that, some people don't say anything, but then there's others in the marketplace that will say like, well, this is of X amount of value, so can you just take that off my price? And then you end up slicing margins or giving away stuff for pennies on the dollar. And I see somewhat of a negative impact when running promotions, because those that care about a promotion like that are usually the ones that'll try and find some type of loophole to convince your team to give them an even more extended discount.
That makes sense to me. Audience members, feel free to drop in your questions to that Q&A box. We're ready to go for you to answer any and all questions you might have. But yeah, what strategies can be employed to differentiate our roofing brand from a crowded market?
Here's how roofers make it home for dinner every single night without losing a single sale, even when they're one-man shows. Automate your communication with ProLine, the only communication-first CRM for roofers. Because when you fix your communication, you'll sell more jobs. Your weekends will smell more like sunscreen and backyard barbecues than that crappy gas station coffee. And all you gotta do is ask these roofers.
Where we had about 200% growth, and I attribute that to incorporating ProLine.
But just with one automation, I was able to get 25 Google reviews.
It's been absolutely insane how quickly we were able to grow.
Now, ProLine's not gonna win the beauty pageant, but it will save your Saturday. Now, back to the show.
Say that question again. Maybe it's just not computing with me, or maybe I don't know. I just went to the St. Pete Country Fest for like 3 days, so
And ripple effects.
working all the smarters are still kind of like ringing.
I've been there. I've read about a situation like that, so I'm familiar. My question was, what strategies can be employed to differentiate your roofing brand in a crowded market?
Carney, you gonna do this one, or you want to joke?
Yeah, I can. I thought you were thinking, man. I was gonna let you come up with it, but I'll give you some extra time, John. Don't worry. So I this is not the answer that you're gonna like, Allie, but like our industry, our like roofing specifically is commoditized. It is like we all buy from the same manufacturers, we all buy from the same distributing partners. A lot of us share crews, so like what truly makes us unique and different? The manufacturers, as much as we love them, they created an environment that's very negative in my opinion, where they offer contractor statuses, which I'm grateful to have, but they offer contractor statuses that allow me to place a manufacturer backed extended warranty on your roof or on your system. But if I can place that and John can place that, and we go into a sales appointment and John is $1,500 less than me, but he's using the same manufacturer, he's offering the same warranty, and me and John both have hundreds of 5-star reviews, why pay me anymore? It's no, I look at it as like a car dealership. If I want to go buy a brand new Chevy and one dealership has it for $1,500 less, same make, same model, and GM is backing that product with the warranty, why would I pay an extra $1,500? I wouldn't. So um it's very, very commoditized, our industry is, and it's incredibly hard to stand out, which I I believe makes you have to reflect inward and look more at your operating system and things that you can do along the way, because marketing strategy, everybody does marketing. The actual construction, as long as you get the customer from point A to point B, you did what they expected you to do, right? So what can you do along the way? How can you make that customer feel great? How can you create a lasting impression throughout that process? And those are the things that we focus on, because it when you talk about deploying marketing strategies, we're so commoditized and we're all offering the same shit. It's just who can put it together better, and who can create that unique customer experience that makes people think about you if they have future needs, or feel obligated to refer you to friends and family members. So I think it's incredibly commoditized and incredibly hard to stand out.
I mean, I think in comparing like the market that I'm in compared to like a market that like Scott would be in, or something, for example, right? Um, Tampa is a very, very competitive market, and it is absolutely difficult to kind of set yourself apart from everybody else out there. So, I mean, some of the strategies that we employ here is just, making content that's either like really, really educational, or something funny that's going to make them laugh and make them connect with us in another sort of way, right? Um, Beyond that, though, the moment that they reach out, I mean, they're going to have a higher level of communication from before the sale to during their project to post completion of their project. And then as they are shopping around in the market for that sort of thing, like we're gonna be hammering them pretty hard to like stay front and center and top of mind, like until their mind has been made up. And really, I mean that's the only thing that I can really think of that we can do to really separate ourselves from others. I mean, we don't come off as salesy sort of people. We do come off as educational. And, end of the day, like the people that decide and opt to work with us are the people that, feel that we are going to do a darn good job for them. And they want to work with us because they chose to, not because we gave them some big, crazy sales pitch that like forced them down a hole that like, they're like, man, I really shouldn't have done that. I should have told them I needed to think about it. Um, but if we do walk out of there and we don't have a signed deal, like I want the next people that come after us to have some really big darn shoes to fill. And they're going to fall short every time. So that's how we set ourselves apart.
I love that. You mentioned that you were using video to do some marketing. Can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit? I know I've seen some funny stuff online, but maybe for our listeners here, if you can kind of explain your.
We did a video where we blew up our Cybertruck, not like whistling diesel, not like whistling diesel style or anything, but we do fun stuff like that. Did a video where we got hit by a golf cart. Did a video where we were streaking through a neighborhood. Just stuff like that. But then on top of that, we have educational content. So after we send a quote, like we want to try to teach them like, all right, well, these are the different parts that make up a roof system. Here's how we install a roof system. Here's why you want to hire us to install your roof system. So they gain some like behind the scenes sort of like insights into what goes into their project, the team behind that project, and they gain a comfort level through us by seeing more of us. And like that's a big thing that I'm really trying to push and to develop this year a lot more is just creating more and more playlists to kind of move them down that path of watching more and more of our content to gain even more familiarity with our company and our team. And like video content is like a huge part of what we're looking to do in 2026. And I mean, we brought on a part-time videographer to continuously be making content for us. So looking forward to seeing what that turns into.
I love that. I'm curious, what type of content does the best? Is it typically the funnier stuff that has better views, or is it more of the educational?
I'll be honest, like the stuff that gets watched the most is the stuff that's kind of like force fed into automations into them through our like communications. Like the biggest open rate for every single one of my people is just like an intro video introducing them like to their appointment or their potential client, showing them the vehicle that they're going to be pulling up in, putting a face to the name before we even step foot on their property. And like that has the highest open rate. But we're not really like putting content out there for views. We're putting content out there for education and kind of taking them down the path we want to take them down. So I'm not trying to monetize it or anything.
No, that makes sense. I was just curious. What about you, Carney?
I love it. I love it. We're testing some different. I don't know how familiar people are with some of the different capabilities of AI and stuff like that right now, but we're looking at leveraging videos, and it's like one-shot videos where we're able to do like direct email, direct SMS campaigns, and send a one-take video, and it do a formal introduction to Allie, to John, to Carney, and swap out the user's first name, and that be agnostic to whoever it goes to. So we're leveraging AI to do that right now for a couple email drip campaigns and stuff like that. But we do very similar stuff to what John has. I would imagine that's set up in ProLine. Automations that go out, introductions of the company, some customer testimonials, all this before we win a project, and then obviously after we win a project, thanking them for the opportunity, expressing gratitude, stuff like that. So a lot of what John is talking about with the CRM system and sending out some type of automated video, we're doing that as well, and we see a lot of success with that, especially the earlier ones that are pre one project. Those seem to get the most attention.
Yeah, that sounds really personal. I love that. Cool stuff. All right, audience, you're awfully quiet today. Feel free to pop in questions. It doesn't have to necessarily be the things we're talking about today. It can be about anything roofing related or life advice, perhaps. I'm sure John and Carney would love to give it to you. But we'll keep rocking and rolling here. Kind of a long.
Actually, hold on. Are you up in what, Georgia or North Carolina or something like that right now?
North Carolina. What gave it away?
Well, I mean, I'm a big fan, and I follow you online, and
And no, I am such a fan.
I'm looking forward to seeing some of you guys' content coming out too.
Yes, tomorrow the Loraxes will be making a grand appearance. So it's supposed to be today, but it got pushed to tomorrow. So
And
I'll be on a roof.
John, are you going to Arlington in 2 weeks?
I can. What's
Best,
going on in Arlington?
best of success.
Nah, I've never
All
been.
right. Well, you'll be me neither, but you'll be missed.
You have to fill me in on what that is, man.
I will. I'll let you know how it goes.
We want to go next year, but I think that overlap with our holiday party, so we didn't get to.
I'm going down and I gotta fly up Friday morning just to get to my Christmas party. So
Busy season.
if there's a will, there's a way.
I love that. Awesome. Good stuff. Ooh, do we have a question? We sure do. Okay. Struggling to get work. Do you believe a roofing company can be run as a side hustle?
You can make anything run as a side hustle.
Do one roof a year and it be a side hustle.
Yeah.
I personally don't like side hustles. I don't know about John. John might have a different opinion. But I'm also somebody who probably has a little bit of an obsessive trait where I like to go all in. It doesn't matter what I do. Even if it's like my hobbies, I like to go full fledged, including hunting and fishing and stuff like that. So, um, part-time's difficult because you're competing with people like me and John, and our job is to try and take your lunch money. So I think no matter what, you're going to struggle because there are people that put more than full-time effort. They're putting in 80, 90-hour weeks to try and separate themselves from others within the marketplace, and you're going to have an incredibly hard time doing that part-time. Now, does that mean that you can't, if you have the right skill set, go out and sell one roof a week or two roofs a month or something like that? Of course. But if you think you're going to compete at a high level with people that wake up every single morning hungry to just rip people's heads off in the marketplace, like you can't compete. You don't have, you're not putting in the amount of time. It's just going to be so difficult for you to compete against other people that are putting in full-time effort. But you can do anything as a side hustle. If you have the skills, you can make a ton of money even if you just put in one day a week. But I would venture to say most people that I tried to make it a side hustle, and about 2 weeks later, it was a full-time job, and I haven't turned back 8.5 years later. So I think once you see the money or things start to fall into place, you're gonna make a decision pretty quick that you're gonna want to put all your effort into this vehicle.
And I didn't mean to like really respond in like a smart butted sort of way or anything like that. Like you can literally turn anything into a side hustle. Like I mean, I'm flipping a house on the side right now. And do I enjoy that? I thought that I would, but I think the time of year that I decided to do all this, like I have a lot of other like life stuff going on all around that. So it's not quite progressing as quickly as I was planning on it. But no, man, of course you can do roofing as a side hustle. It takes way better as a full-time job though.
Might as well go all in, right? Keep the questions coming. We love to answer them live. So yeah, keep coming through. But kind of getting back on the marketing train until another question pops in. How are you guys using before and after photos to market?
I don't really use before photos too often. Maybe I could, maybe I should. But what we have been doing is we have been using a lot of like the before in video content to kind of show people the transition because I think it translates a lot better in video than what it does in photos. Like roofing's kind of boring. End of the day, like it's totally boring. Nobody wants to see photos of roofs all day. You know, where, if you can kind of tell a story along with it and make it a little bit more intriguing and exciting to kind of learn about, I think it's better to be used in video. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just haven't cracked the code on like using before photos. Carney, what you got?
It's great content to have. The more content that you have, the better off you are for just anything when it comes to social media. You can use them on like this is one of our sales training manuals. So that having that content, it can be repurposed and used for anything, right? It could be on a piece of direct mail, it could be on your website, it could be in a portfolio, where it's like customer testimonials or something like that. One of the big things that we try to teach our guys is, I'm sure everybody's familiar with drones, knowing that it's 2025, but most customers have never seen their house from the sky. So we like to get our team to take a before or a few before photos of the roof from the sky and then some after photos from the sky. And then, of course, get those guys to post that on social media, get it over to our marketing team to be able to repurpose it and do whatever they feel like doing with it. But one of the bigger things is just getting it in that customer's hands because a lot of customers will actually take that and they'll put it together and they'll put it on their social media and they'll brag about it, which is free advertising for you. So before and after photos with a drone are phenomenal, especially if you can furnish your customer with them. And I think it enhances that customer experience for them because most of them have never seen their house from the sky.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could kind of chime in on that. I mean, we have been making a much bigger push to get people to share their experience with us in their neighborhood groups on Facebook. And using before and after photos and things has been absolutely huge. But our buy-in on that, like I must not have cracked the code on that yet because we can't really get a lot of people to do that. But the ones that do, man, it's like magical.
That. Got another question in the Q&A here. Do you guys have a passion for roofing or a passion for making money?
John, you're up first.
So, I mean, end of the day, anybody that says they have a true passion for roofing, I think is fibbing to you. But what I will say though is I do truly enjoy what I do, and I enjoy the results that we're able to kind of kick out, and that in itself is more rewarding than any of the money that comes along with it. So I guess end of the day, like you need to find a way to kind of like make a living for yourself, right? And it's a hell of a perk to be able to say that you actually enjoy it. So that's my answer.
And a great one at that, John.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I love the whole construction industry. I've been around it since I was a child, so I kind of just knew that I was going to end up in construction and I wasn't going to find my way out of it. So Um, I, I mean, if anybody who says that we're not here for money is crazy, because that's why we're all showing up every single day, unless you don't need to be here. I know a few people like that, but they're far and few between. Um, I mean, I think we try to villainize money as if it's like this evil thing when it's not. It's the way of the world. We need money. If you don't have money, you can't go shopping. If you don't have money, you can't buy a house. If you don't have money, you can't buy a vehicle. You can't even buy food. Our whole world, our whole universe revolves around money. So it needs to be treated with a tremendous amount of urgency and importance to attack it and go after it. I I'm motivated by money. I'm motivated by helping people. And one of the best things that um, I've ever seen is when people join us, whether it's a new franchisee, it's a salesperson, my father. We find ways to give these people a means to make a lot of money, and then to see how that changes their personal life, to see how it affects their family in a positive way. That's really, really rewarding. To see if you bring in a sales guy or sales girl and they start out as an appointment setter, as a canvasser, and the next thing you know, they're making 100 grand knocking on doors and selling projects. And then they make 150 grand, and then they're buying houses and buying cars, and their spouse is staying at home and taking care of the kids because they don't have to work anymore. It's super cool to be in a position to give people a vehicle that allows them to chase whatever their dreams and goals look like. And none of that is possible without money. So I'm highly motivated by money, but that is not the only reason that we're here. If all that it was about, if all it was about was money, um, build a company, sell it, and leave and go do whatever you want. But most of us are here for a different purpose besides just trying to make a million bucks or 5 million bucks or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not God's intention for us to live in poverty anyway. I mean, but what we decide to do with that and the way that we can kind of like pour into others and things like, I mean, we just donated what 15 meals to local families and things out here for Thanksgiving. Like, we gave away 2 roofs last year. Like, if money was our biggest priority, we wouldn't be doing any of that stuff, you know. But because of what it has allowed us to do with our lives and like the enjoyment that we actually do find out of it, I mean, we can actually pour into lives and families and improve their lives as well.
Truly leaving people better than you found them. I think that's really cool. I don't always get to say that with your job. So I think that's beautiful, guys. We do have another question from the audience here. Talk about work-life balance in the industry. This year has been tough across the board. What advice can you give in such a competitive field?
So I don't really believe in work-life balance a whole lot. uh you got to put the time in to get done what you need to get done, and you have to be intentional about making time away from that. And with pouring enough of your time into it, you'll have the means to actually schedule that time to take a step away from it, in my opinion. But as long as I'm in this thing, I'm going to pour in like as much as I can to it. And if something is important that I need to be a part of with life or home or family or church or anything like that, like, it goes right on my calendar. And that's how I plan for those things. I'm intentional that way. If it's not on my calendar, I'm not getting there.
Sounds like a sleep when you're dead mindset.
Yeah, that sounds kind of icky.
Too extreme.
Allie,
Very.
Allie, I don't think your
I'll look over there, Allie.
What, Carney?
I don't think your audience is gonna like me this week. I would,
Yo.
I mean, work-life balance is a fallacy. I mean, how can you have balance? You gotta sleep for 8 hours. You gotta work out for an hour. You gotta make sure you're eating the right food. Um, you have to work for 8 to 10 hours at a minimum if you're trying to build something great. So, like, how could your personal life or how could life in general be balanced? It's just not. It's a fallacy. And big thing for me is kind of what John was talking about, which is like when I'm doing something, I want to be all in. If I'm and that took me a while to get to that point. I'm newly married, so that's been something to navigate. Is like now I have this partner. We've gotten married. Now she's a part of everything that I do. Um, so it's when I'm at work, and it's very little distraction, very little personal distraction, unless there's like an emergency or just something that I need to be a part of. But other than that, like she wants me to go to work and be at work, be present, get as much shit done that needs to get done. That way, when you come home and I take my ball cap off and I'm taking my boots off at the door, that like when I'm present and I'm with her or doing whatever we want to do, like we're doing it and we're in that moment and I'm not distracted by the things that are in the background. So it's kind of like I guess like an all-in mentality that like when I'm working, I want to work like a dog and I want to be all in. When I am home or doing personal things with loved ones or hobbies, I want to be as hard as it is, which doesn't always work out that way. I'm still practicing and trying to live this life, but actually try and be fully present, fully dedicated to that person or that hobby or whatever thing that we're doing together. Um, but work-life balance, once again, if your goal is to achieve work-life balance, whatever that means, I think you're gonna get run over by people who go all in. Now that's not right. There's not a right or wrong to that. But when you're in an industry that, I mean, and whoever asked the question knows that this industry is hyper competitive, equity getting involved. You got hedge funds getting involved. You got franchises coming to the mix. You have people that are moving 100 times faster than a regular mom and pop shop could, and you have to try and compete with that. Well, work-life balance isn't the way to try and compete with that. So, um, I think as a business owner, you have to go through this evolution and try and work with friends and family and loved ones to understand that this is an evolution and you need a little bit of their grace and a little bit of their help to help you get um, acclimated to this new way of life. But my suggestion is when you're working, go all in, work, zero distractions, no 30-minute phone calls with your lover. Like, go to work your butt off, and then that way when you're done, you can focus on pouring that energy.
I think that makes perfect sense. Your internet might be getting a little low there, Carney. I think you cut out a smidge, but sounds like work-life balance is a spectrum, and maybe part of the place that you found yourself in is creating that boundary that when you're with Lexi, you're with Lexi, and when you're at work, you're at work.
That's a fancy wall behind you there, Carney, dude. Looks like you imported that wallpaper from Dubai or something, man. It's wild.
Sherman Williams special.
Old leaf, perhaps. Love it, love it.
Only the best.
Fantastic. All right, we've got another one in here, just from an anonymous attendee. I appreciate y'all's time from Tampa Bay. Shout out Tampa Bay. We love to see it. Happy to have some local people in the thread here. Keep popping your questions in as they come up. Can be about anything at all, big or small.
So, Allie, are you originally from Tampa Bay?
Not originally, no. I'm originally
Well-
from Western North Carolina. I'm here.
Don't tell anybody, but sometimes I wear flow-grown shirts.
Which is a lie.
Well, my business was born here.
Okay. So you're like quasi.
I kind of get that. I kind of slide in that way.
That's beautiful. I love that. Maybe I'll have to get one. Maybe I'll have to get one. All right, y'all. We got a couple more minutes here. How important is it to have a mobile optimized website for your roofing business?
Very important. It's where most of your people are going to be finding you and looking at you and things. If your website's not optimized for mobile, you're really going to be like cutting yourself off at the knees by, really just not pulling in the number of potential customers that you could be by having a well optimized mobile friendly website. Like that was huge for me.
I would venture to say it's more important than desktop. Like most of us are using our cell phone or tablet to look at whatever we want, right? So knowing that the masses are going to be using a mobile device, you ought to be optimized for it. And I don't know, can anybody chat GPT like what amount of searches are done on mobile versus desktop globally? I'm sure Google's got that information or somebody's got that information. I would venture to say that mobile is way higher than desktop.
Probably so. Probably so. All right, guys. We don't have any more questions from the audience. We will ask our final question of the day for this episode. What is your favorite? Oh, we have one more. No question here, just soaking up some great advice. Thank you again to Allie, ProLine, Carney, and John. Thank you, Remco from Subtracks, who handles all supplementing needs. Give him a little shout out, give him a follow or a like. Remco, we love it. Thank you so much for commenting. Great to hear.
Globally, Allie, mobile devices account for 62 to 64% of all web traffic, while desktops obviously make up the difference, 35 to 40%.
Okay.
What is that? Wait, that math doesn't make sense. What are the other 6% of people searching on?
Their toaster, their refrigerators, all the other gadgets. That's too funny. Well, so the mobile app needs to work. Your websites need to be compatible with the device. There you go. All right, final question. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? What are you excited to eat come Thursday?
Boy.
Are we talking dessert or main course?
Don't worry, baby. I'm gonna keep this PG.
One of each. Yeah. I appreciate that, John.
My wife's over on the couch shaking her head. Hey,
All
I'll do
right,
it.
can we do like main course then dessert?
Error. Get after it.
I'm a big green bean casserole guy. I don't know why, but like that's my go-to. You like with the crispy onions on top?
Oh, I'm familiar. I've never met a green bean casserole I don't like.
Yeah. And I don't know, is that considered like Thanksgiving or what?
I mean, it should be like add with stuffing should be all year round. Like I can't believe we only do it one day of the year. But yeah.
That or like a really, really good sweet potato casserole with like some real gnarly, sugary stuff on top. I'm about that too.
Praline pecan action.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, John?
All right, Carney's second little tidbit there definitely hit home. I like candied yams and all that stuff, and I'm a huge fan of stuffing. But I am looking forward very much to getting fat on Thursday, sitting on my couch watching some football, and then going out shopping with my wife the next morning because that's what she enjoys to do.
Well, happy wife, happy life. So absolutely buy her everything she asks for.
She don't even ask anymore.
Wow, swipe the card. That's good. Swipe the card. Awesome. We got a squash casserole coming in from the audience here. I would say it's the stuffing, the cream corn, the mac and cheese. I'm just excited. I'm excited for it all. Grateful to be here. Grateful to have this amazing panel of roofers here every Monday to talk through all of our problems, big or small. Oh, we got one more thing coming in here.
Ooh.
Oh, no, it was just an old one. Okay, y'all. Well, if there's nothing else coming through, I will give you some time back here. And yeah, I hope everybody has a fantastic Thanksgiving. As always, thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week. God bless.
Thanks, guys. Have a great holiday.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah.